Hi everyone, my name is Angelia and I am the sugar mama. So you may be laughing because of the name, but there's a lot to that name. So I am a mom, I have a 9-year-old son, and I make both custom desserts as well as natural skincare products. So I'm 29 years old, I'm from San Diego. I started this brand a few years ago and really started running with it about a year ago. I love to support other local San Diego businesses as well. I go to several farmers markets, I sell both my products and my desserts there. And so if you have a local business that you run, if you're just trying to get something off the ground, whether you're an artist, an organizer, a florist, whatever it may be, let me know, and I'd love to share your pictures or your story and also support you as well. So today we are going to make two main things, macaroons as well as cake, and these are French macarons, so they're different than the macaroons, which are a coconut cookie dessert. So we'll start with the macaron and then we will move into cakes, and then after that we're going to make the buttercream that we will be using for both the cake as well as the macaron, and I think we'll go ahead and get started. So now we have the powdered sugar almond flour mix. So we're going to just set this aside while we whip the egg whites and make the meringue, which is the most important part of the macaron process. So you want to have a really nice stiff peak meringue, but you don't want it to be too stiff. Otherwise, you're putting too much air into the batter and your macarons will rise too much and they'll potentially crack on top. I have 2 ounces of egg whites. I will start whisking them with my KitchenAid with a little bit of cream of tartar, and then we will slowly incorporate granulated sugar into that. So when your meringue has a soft peak, so this isn't a super stiff, but it's a stiff, soft peak where it holds itself, and you can actually turn the bowl over and it won't come out. You know that it's ready to go. So the macaronage is where you are gently folding the almond flour powdered sugar mix into the meringue. You have to do it very gently so that you don't deflate the meringue too much, and you don't want to undermix it because then your macarons will be too tall and puffy, they'll have hollow insides. But you don't want to overmix it, then they will become flat and the pretty little feet that are on the bottom will go outward and they should go straight up. This is how my muscles get big, or how I'm trying to get them big. When you lift the batter up, you want it to flow steadily off of the spatula. What I do want to do is just stripe the bag with a little bit of this darker color. We'll try and create a marble effect. It may or may not end up blending in by the time we pipe all the macarons, but I think it'll look nice. I'm going to put the batter in the bag. Ah! Cut! Okay, so now that we have piped the macarons and they are resting, drying out, and hopefully the rain won't make it extra hard. While those are sitting, we're going to go ahead and make the rose buttercream to fill them and the cake with. Okay, so far we have made our French macaron, we made a raspberry cake filling, and the most recent thing that I just made is the Swiss meringue rose buttercream. So for my Swiss meringue buttercream, I started with my egg whites, my granulated sugar, and I have this whole spice rose sugar that I added to the egg white sugar mix. Cooked that over the stove until all of the sugar was dissolved. Then you take that mix and I put it on my electric mixer with the whisk attachment, whisk that until it turned into meringue, similar to the meringue that we made for the macaron. And once we had stiff peaks, we added our butter to it because you have to have that good butter for buttercream. So we made the buttercream, tinted it pink, and we are ready to decorate our vanilla cake layers. So just pipe it around. I usually do 2 layers, so we have a nice thick border. Then we're going to open up raspberry cake filling, which I just use fresh raspberries that I froze, did granulated sugar, a little bit of cornstarch, and lemon juice. So any cake filling I make, whether it's raspberry, peach, strawberry, I always put a little bit of lemon juice. It helps accentuate the flavors. So it's a nice thick texture for us, thanks to the cornstarch. All right, delicious. So now I have my top cake layer here. Just put that on top there. Okay, so now use my buttercream to continue covering the cake. So we went ahead and took the chilled cake out of the fridge, and we're going to put the final layer of buttercream on. But the macaroons are ready to go in the oven, so we're gonna go ahead and bake those. Typically bake them at 305 degrees, and I'll do them for about 8 minutes to start out, and then I will turn the tray around and bake them for another 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, so now the macaroons are in the oven, so we'll go ahead and smooth our second layer of buttercream on the cake. And then we'll chill the cake and make the ganache drip so we can drip on the cake. I actually am using candy melts for the drip, and I'm doing a 3-to-1 ratio of candy melts to heavy cream. I used mostly these light pink candy melts and a few white chips just to lighten the drip just a bit. Okay, so after we finished the ganache drip, or the candy melt drip, and placed the sprinkles on one at a time, I went ahead and made a couple of just designs here, look kind of like flowers, a little bit corally. I made those out of just candy melts, just melted them, and I spread it with a rubber spatula on some parchment paper in these different shapes, let it dry, and then just popped it off the parchment paper and put it into the cake. So just a little accent there. Added a couple of the macarons, and we have the rest of them here. So I kind of wanted to just recap what we made today. I made a only two layer vanilla cake, so just a little small mini, lover's cake. We also made a rose Swiss meringue buttercream, so that's actually what's on the cake, and that's what's also in between the macaroon cookies and sandwiched in there. We also made a raspberry cake filling, and that's inside of the cake. We have a couple of items here. This would look really cute for, a Valentine's Day party, or right here in my kitchen, and we'll probably all be eating it. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I would love to answer them. My email is thesugarmama@gmail.com. And also, before we leave, I wanted to give a couple of shout outs. So the first shout out is to La Mesa Floral Shop. They are amazing, and I get all of my florals there for cakes. They provided a few arrangements today. One of them is right here. You'll see a few others in the background. They're just so beautiful and lush, unique. You can see one of the pieces that we had up top here hanging, also extremely unique. So just want to say thank you to them. I also wanted to shout out a couple of other people, because I love, all of my local San Diego businesses and other female entrepreneurs, male entrepreneurs too, but I love all of my hardworking women out there hustling and working on building their business. So the first are these earrings, and I'll have to share the actual Instagram handle, but this girl who makes these earrings, she makes them out of wood, and she laser cuts them. It's really awesome, and she's always at the Ocean Beach Farmers Market. So love her. I'll share her information. And then I'm actually going to have to step away to grab one more item, and I'll show you, and it's Abbey Road Art. So if you follow me, you've probably seen this piece before. It is so beautiful, and again, it's my friend Abby. She makes beautiful pieces with resin and different colors. She makes these coasters, platters, all sorts of cutting boards. You can see that cutting board in the back over here. It was made by her. She's so talented. I also want to say thank you to Lindsay, my best friend, for organizing everything today and introducing me to our amazing photographer, videographer, Brian, and I want to say thank you to you for coming and setting this up and for my first shoot. So I'm just super excited about it. Thank you.